What if I told you that the greatest science fiction tragedy of our time didn't begin in the 31st millennia, but in the 17th century? That long before Horus raised his War Master's banner in rebellion, John Milton already etched the blueprint of the heresy in ink and fire, calling it Paradise Lost. This is not a coincidence. This is deliberate. A direct literary echo between Horus and Lucifer, between the Emperor and God, between the burning eye of terror and the fallen halls of pandemonium. The Horus Heresy isn't just Warhammer's greatest story. It's our generation's Paradise Lost. Let me show you how. In Paradise Lost, Satan is not just the devil. He is Lucifer, the brightest and most favored of angels. He is powerful, beautiful, and proud. But pride leads him to defiance. When God exalts his children, us humans, above all, Lucifer refuses to bow. He says, "Why should the Son of God be preferred before me?" That line alone could have come straight from Horus. Because Horus, like Lucifer, was the first among equals, the Emperor's greatest son, his War Master. And yet, when the Emperor returns to Terra, leaving Horus isolated and confused, the same question festers. Why should Father favor others above me? That seed, fed by Erebus and the gods of chaos, grew into treason. And in both stories, the result is the same. Heaven, or the galaxy, is torn asunder. In Milton's tale, rebellion begins in heaven. The angels clash in a war of stars and thunder. The loyal Archangel Michael, blade in hand, leads the charge against his corrupted brethren. They cast Lucifer down, banishing him to the deep. Now, exiled Lucifer constructs a kingdom from ashes, Pandemonium, a hellish capital forged in defiance. Sound familiar, anybody? In the Horus Heresy, Terra becomes the battlefield. Brother turns on brother. Space Marines, once bonded by purpose and love, now kill each other in the name of a twisted cause. The Emperor remains silent for much of it, just like Milton's God, distant, divine, and removed. And when the traitors are finally defeated, they are cast into the Eye of Terror, a warp-twisted abyss outside time, where they raise demon empires and twisted fortresses. There, Pandemonium. But Paradise Lost doesn't just give us the fall of Satan. It gives us the first temptation. In Eden, Lucifer takes on the form of a serpent and whispers to Eve, "Taste this fruit, and you shall be as gods." He doesn't promise destruction. He offers freedom, knowledge, and with that, power. Just as Erebus and the Serpent Lodge whispered to Horus, "You have been lied to. The Emperor is a tyrant. Join us and become truly free." It's the same lie, the same seduction. And in both stories, the fall doesn't come from an evil place. It comes from the belief that rebellion is righteous, that liberation justifies damnation. Now, this was a fun part I enjoyed. It's in Book 1. Let's talk about Chemos. In Milton's Paradise Lost, Chemos is not a world. Instead, it's a demon. A prince of lust and excess, a corrupting spirit worshipped in shadow, festering on the weakness of the soul. In Warhammer's galaxy, Chemos is the homeworld of the Emperor's children. A planet of bleak beauty and collapsing decadence. Once idealistic, its people turn to aesthetic perfection to hide the rot. And Fulgrim, like Eve, like Horus, is tempted not by brutality, but by beauty. By the promise of elevation, excess becomes virtue, perfection becomes obsession, and what was once noble becomes monstrous. That's not a coincidence. That is a direct parallel. Chemos, the demon of indulgence, becomes Chemos, the cradle world of damnation. What's truly powerful to me is that in both stories, the enemy isn't entirely wrong. That's the trap. Lucifer doesn't claim to be evil. He claims to be free. And Horus doesn't want to destroy humanity. He believes he's saving it from tyranny. Even Slanesh, born from desire, doesn't enslave with chains, but with offers of sensation. Milton's Satan says, better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Horus, in his final days, becomes that very line. Not a leader, not a liberator, but a god of war, ruling a kingdom of ash. A king of the damned, if you will. And in the end, that's all he would ever rule. The tragedy doesn't end with the traitors. It lives on in the loyalists as well. Just like Michael and the angels who stayed true to heaven, the loyal Primarchs fought not for glory, but for love and their father's dream of what the Imperium could be. sanguineous, noble, and doomed to become a martyr to the hands of his own brother Horus. Dorn, who built walls not just of stone, but of loyalty. Guilliman would carry the burden of rebuilding everything his brothers destroyed. And what did they get? I'll tell you what they got. They got loss, pain, and an eternity without resolution. Just like the angels in Paradise Lost, they are victorious. But at what cost? What's left of them? What is there to be victorious over? Milton's poem ends with Adam and Eve walking into exile, guided by an angel full of sorrow, but also hope. The heresy ends with Horus dead, the emperor entombed in a golden throne, and the galaxy bleeding, but humanity still enduring. That is the power of these stories, not in the scale, but in the fall, in the reminder that greatness, when twisted, can destroy entire heavens. And in the end, as both series teach us, it wasn't hatred that caused the fall. It was love, twisted, misunderstood, and abandoned. This has been Paradise Lost and the Horus Heresy. 2 stories of rebellion, beauty, and ruin. If this moved you and you liked it, be sure to subscribe, share, and join me for the next deep dive. We are the inheritors of a broken paradise, and we are not done telling its story. Everyone, now that it's at the end of the video, I want to give a laid back kind of kickback on what I think of this. Paradise Lost. It was striking just how many similarities there were, not just in name, but just in ideology as well in the wording used. If it's one book I could recommend to anybody out there, I would say read Paradise Lost. And if you don't feel like reading it, at least do the Audible version. It's 9 hours, gives you something to paint to at the end of it. For those of you that are maybe on the fence or don't like religious texts, this isn't something that would be canon to the Bible. It's a great literary piece to read, no different than Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy. So if you're looking to read something or have something to listen to that maybe isn't Warhammer, that maybe is found in actual real life history, give this a read. I have plans to kind of do this. I've been reading the Epic of Gilgamesh, all sorts of old books, texts, writings, and kind of like a little bit baffled at how much they apply to the setting and the lore that we enjoy today. And what I've slowly learned by reading real history and reading the actual stories is that I have a really great appreciation for great writing, and these stories that we read in the Horus Heresy in the 40k setting, even in fantasy, all pull from great works of art, and this would be one of them. Now, everybody, I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for enjoying this with me. Join me 8:30 Central Standard Time. Get your Legion painted. Here's a preview of what it is, so none of you are under the guise that it's this craziness. Oh, dude, no, it's worse. It's so much worse, dude. One of my buddies from the Marines sent it to me. He's like, "Hey, dude, look, it's the future." I was like, "Hell no, that ain't my fucking future." We just paint, talk shop, talk about really anything. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Peace.